Let's talk first about the election today, or not just one election. There's a few elections, isn't there? The mayor race in New York City and then gubernatorial contests in Virginia and New Jersey. What's the significance?
Well, first of all, anytime you get real voters casting actual votes, it does give you a pretty reliable barometer, at least of what people in those three locations, New York City, Virginia and New Jersey, are thinking. And the Democrats are obviously hoping to pull off wins in all three races today, plus also a ballot proposition out in California that would allow Gavin Newsom to redraw congressional boundaries and boost the number of seats that Democrats can count on in next year's midterm elections in response to Republican gerrymandering that has been taking place in other states. All eyes, of course, are on New York City. Zohran Mamdani, the Democrat socialist who is running for mayor of New York. He wants to make the buses free in New York. He wants to extend rent regulation on more than 1 million properties. He's talking about opening 5 city-owned supermarkets in a bid to try and bring food prices down. He is anathema to Donald Trump and to the captains of industry and commerce and finance in New York City, but he's also someone that many Democratic Party grandees are keeping at arm's length. Take a listen to what Hillary Clinton had to say the other day. She was asked who she's planning to vote for in the New York City mayoral race.
You know what? I don't vote in this city. I'm not involved in it. I have not, been at all even asked to be involved in it, and I have not chosen to be involved in it.
She was talking there to the Unholy podcast, which explores issues pertaining to the Jewish community around the world and also to the relationship that various countries have with Israel. Zohran Mamdani, of course, is about to become the first Muslim Indian-American Democratic Socialist mayor of New York. So take a listen to what happened next on that Unholy podcast.
Do the Jews in this city have a reason to be concerned?
We'll have to see what happens. I hope not. I do not believe that we are able to predict what's going to happen. I can't sit here and tell you.
It's an extraordinary answer, that, because it really reveals the depth of anxiety that elites within the Democratic Party have about this firebrand young radical who is about to become the next mayor of New York City. He's going to win by a massive margin, we think, tonight. And he's really sending a message to the Democratic Party writ large that the party has to change. And people like Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, the New York senator who leads Democrats in the United States Senate, they've all kept him at arm's length because they are deeply concerned that that kind of populist left-wing radical is going to become a galvanizing figure for young grassroots Democrats and really challenge the elites within the party and tell them it's time for them to push off.
So we're seeing something similar here in a way, as if the established opposition has lost the room almost, and that the I choose my words carefully because we haven't seen him in action yet, and some of what he's said and done has been very impressive, but the perceived maverick hoovers up votes because people are sick of the status quo.
Yes, but there is a real challenge coming for the Democratic Party arising out of these elections, because if you go just south of us here in Washington, D.C. to Virginia, the Democrat who is expected to win that race for the gubernatorial mansion tonight is a centrist, Abigail Spanberger. And she has literally said, she's on a leaked audio tape to prominent Democrats, that the party needs to stop even using the word socialist, that the word socialist is a complete switch off to the country. And if you carry on going out there and campaigning from the left and talking about being a socialist, you are going to lose the next election cycle. Well, she's going to become, we think, the next governor of Virginia tonight. So there's mixed messages coming from Democrats. On the one hand, in New York City, they're about to embrace someone of the left who describes himself as a democratic socialist. In Virginia, more conservative state to be sure, they are coalescing around a centrist figure who has said we shouldn't even be using these words, these buzz phrases that turn voters off. So the party's going to emerge from this off-year election, I think, in an even more confused state than it went into it, searching for leaders, but also still having to have an internal conversation with itself about what kind of path it wants to put itself on if it's ever going to combat Donald Trump's Make America Great Again populism.
Fascinating. I mean, genuinely fascinating, and all the more reason to speak to you soon about how things unfold. But of course, you could, or the United States could be at war with Nigeria by that point.
Absolutely astonishing. This announcement by President Trump on his social media channel over the weekend came seemingly out of nowhere, accusing the Nigerian government of standing by while Christians are being massacred in the country. We know that that message was fueled in part by Republican Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, who himself has focused extensively on what is taking place in Nigeria. But what is actually taking place in Nigeria certainly is seeing the murder of a large number of Christians in the country, but it's also seeing the murder of an even larger number of Muslims in Nigeria who are equally being targeted by Boko Haram and other Islamic fundamentalist terror groups. For them, not a solitary word was expressed by Donald Trump on Saturday as he threatened to send the US military in to Nigeria to kill the Islamic fundamentalists that he claims are responsible for massacring Christians. And he put the Nigerian government on notice. The government, he said, better act fast, otherwise the military's coming. If you're a Make America Great Again supporter and you've backed the concept of Donald Trump being the peacemaker who's not going to get involved in far-off and distant conflicts about which we know very little, I mean, you'd think that Nigeria might tick those boxes, but on Saturday, he certainly was very focused on it.
Well, at least we can all agree he has. What's the running total now? He has ended 406 wars. Is that right?
and mounting.
And counting. Simon Marks, many thanks indeed. Live from Washington, D.C., where American politics, US politics, shows no sign of calming down anytime soon.